and I had to unfollow Turf, and I shouldn't be surprised because it's a white woman with a lot of followers, so shouldn't be surprised. I want to make it clear that this page, my art, my life, is a no Turf zone. No Turf zone.
And of course you, a white woman with a bunch of followers, would make unfollowing me a performative queer space to talk about how you support abusing children. Like, do you really want to have this conversation? I'm speaking out against trans delusion because I saw too many detransitioner stories to stay quiet. Why don't you care about that? Why don't you care about people like Richie Heron? Why don't you care about the autistic community who is just getting mutilated by this psychosis? Lindsay? And clearly you're not that big of an activist because instead of blocking me and getting a Turf out of your space, you allowed me to follow you. Why? Because you don't want your follower count to go down? Girl, I am a proud Turf, and I don't like have a problem with trans people. I have a problem with the religion that has started and like attitudes like this where you're like, you don't know anything about gender. Really? Because I'm a woman and I'm actually proud to be a woman and I'm not confused about my gender, so I think I know a lot about gender. And if you're okay with kids being medically transitioned, I don't want to know you. And if you're pretending like it's not happening, then you're not educated in this movement that you have made a whole art career about. That's so selfish.
Oh yeah, I don't mind.
Right. Good to see you though, babe. You're really just... Oh, and you were racist on top of it. Queer liberation, everyone. Hey Lindsay, I saw that you made another video replying to me or something. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna click on it. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you, especially like on my feed. I'll make something and put it in the stories, but no. This is so weird and so performative, and I don't appreciate you calling me names. Wow, like, not only are you being racist towards me, but that was like the weirdest performance. This is some white on white crime, babe. And I didn't say one piece of any misinformation about the trans community, so... And I actually care about kids, and I care about autistic people, and I care about real science, and I care about the truth, and I care about people not living in a dangerous psychosis. And what did you say at the beginning of your video? You were like, oh, you guys, well, it happened. What happened? You're like, a white girl with a bunch of followers. Oh my God, I had to unfollow her. Who does that? You don't need to announce that you unfollow someone. You don't need to make a performance out of my political stances. If we've followed each other for years, why on earth wouldn't you just come and talk to me about it? And my favorite part is that you didn't block me, but you unfollowed me and let me keep following you, so you don't care if a Turf is in your space. And I'm not a Turf. I'm not scared of trans people. Trans people don't need to be scared of me. Like, I have a trans child in my family. That's part of why I am so passionate about this. And I have no problem with trans people, but we need to talk about the dark sides of this. And when you guys post all your woke left stuff, I never said anything. I never unfollowed you. I never blocked you. I never said, you can't do this. I never made some big performative thing out of your life. Did I? No. That shows you the difference between the left and the right. But the second that you see something that I do that you disagree with, then you have to make a video calling me a Turf and acting like I'm dangerous for queer people and that I don't know things about gender. Do you know how immature you sound? This is exactly why I left the Democratic Party, because the Democrats and the left, I didn't even realize I was so deep in it. That is to tell another human being that they don't know anything about gender. All of us know everything about gender. You guys have turned gender into this, like, crazy weaponized thing. You're gonna tell another human you don't know anything about gender. Girl, this is exactly why Donald Trump won. So keep up with the theatrics, keep up with the, I'm a trans artist and queer is the future and queer everything, and if you're not queer, you can't, no, if everybody's queer, you're not queer. If everybody has to be queer, how are you going to be different, Lindsay? And again, I have no problem with people being queer. Never have. But the problem is when you make it a performance in everything that you do. And you're like, please, you have to support queer artists, and everything about my life is a queer performance, and if you support trans people, then you support my art, and... Oh, so you're... Oops, sorry, somebody came to talk to me, but... Yeah, it gets nauseating when people are like, I'm trans, buy my art. If you're queer, support my art. Like, why can't people just support your art? And I get it, like, it's something that you care about, but other people are allowed to care about the well-being of children, and other people are allowed to not want their kids to be trans. And I don't care if it's about medical transitioning or not. It's hard enough growing up and being a child and all of that stuff. And this new psychosis that's out there that anybody could be the wrong gender and you're a child and you should be thinking about who you're attracted to. I mean, that alone. When we're talking about gender, so much of that has to do with romance. So much of that has to do with sex. Why should children even be thinking about that? They shouldn't. We need to let kids be kids. What do we call people who talk to kids about inappropriate issues? When did this become normalized? And it is hurting kids. And if you don't know that it is, that's even more concerning. I didn't think it was happening either. I was like, just let people do whatever they want. Oh, those silly conservatives that think that kids are getting all this stuff. No, they are. Not only are 13-year-olds getting top surgery and people can pass away from complications from top surgery, I didn't know all the horrible things that are happening with these horrific doctors and these botched top surgeries. And I'm listening to people like Buck Angel, people who are actually transsexual, who are trying to help. Like, if you don't know what's going on in your own community, then you need to stop using that community to sell your art. And if you're not willing to listen to detransitioner videos and listen to the horrors that people live through, and if you're part of the community that ignores detransitioners, then yeah, maybe you needed to see my content. What? Nobody's trying to take away you and your partner's way of life, Lindsay, but we're trying to protect kids. And we're trying, and not just kids, adults too. Anyways, I'm trying to be a different person on the internet, which I am now, so I'm not going to go back and forth with someone. I didn't mean to see her video about me. I'm sure I have a lot more to say about it. I'll probably post her video again so you can see the whole thing, but don't ever tell another human that they don't understand gender. You guys make gender, like, it's fine for you to talk about gender in any way you want, but it's not fine for me to be proud to be a woman, for me to want to help people feel comfortable in their bodies, for me to warn autistic people how we are the most affected by this delusion. And again, and always, I support anybody who has any issues. I'm not saying that this is not real. I'm not saying that people don't have gender dysphoria. I'm not saying that there aren't trans people out there, but we have turned it into something that's actually harming a lot of people now. And no, I don't think that, I think it's a lot of surgical self-harm. And I think that we're turning this into a trend, a literal social contagion, and for people who actually experience gender dysphoria, it's not fun. And I learned that from people who actually have it. To the point that, like, it's not something that we should, you know what I'm trying to say. You know exactly what I'm trying to say. It's okay for us to disagree, and next time you want to make a video, a performative video like this, block the person first. Block the person first, because this algorithm is dirty. And you can call me whatever names you want. I'm proud to be brave enough to stand up to this. So, yeah. Oh, and your superiority complex is completely nauseating. Completely nauseating. This video highlights it so well. The superiority complex of the woke left. You guys act like you're the minority and nobody understands this and da-da-da-da. And then you're like, ugh, but we're superior. We're superior. Miss me. Miss me. Yeah, this video is for educational purposes only. So nice to meet you though, honey.